Hello everyone, this is Rifa and welcome to my Rubik's Cube painting challenge part 2. So in the previous video I've shown you how I challenged myself to paint on this mini Rubik's Cube. So I have done 3 parts in the previous video, so I'm going to show you the remaining 3 parts in this video. So if you haven't watched the first part, I will link that in the description, and also I will link all the paint and materials in the description. So I'm starting with orange this time. Every time orange reminds me of that beach sunset view, so I thought of adding a beach sunset in this part. So I have gessoed the entire surface this time, so it will be very easy for me to show how I paint and it won't be that much long. So if you want to know how I gessoed this mini Rubik's Cube, please go watch my first part. So I filled the entire area with the orange first and then added the sky, added some red at the both sides of the sky and little clouds by adding a bit of brown to that red, and then I added the waves. So for the shadows of the ocean I just added some Prussian blue to the orange and I got this particular grayish shade. And for the shadows of the larger waves I added a little bit of black and added the shadows and little details for the waves and the clouds. Then I added some lemon yellow details to give that glowy effect. So I added some white to this particular lemon yellow and added few highlights. And for the waves I started with a grey shade first and then added white highlights. So I also added this tiny little sun setting in the sky with a white spot, and the lower part where a bit of ground is showing is going to be very dark, so I added some more black to that particular shade and then just covered it. So that's how the orange went, and next I went for green. So again I covered the entire surface with some green shade. So I love the sunset more in this particular series, or in this particular 3 paintings I love the sunset more. For green I thought of adding a very mountainscape with lots of green mountains and valleys. So I just did a mountain which is very far in a very light shade. I added few blue and white to the green and did that mountain, and added some mountain covered with lots of trees. I'm not that much detailing, we are just adding some dots to indicate that detailing. And then I added a green mountain, also added some little dots to indicate that trees. So since they are very far I thought of adding the dotting details. And I also did the sky a bit more bright. So then for the ground I added a yellowish green shade, which is got by adding some lemon yellow to your green and added some grassy details, so it shows some kind of valley in between these mountains. And that's it. And the last one was of course the blue. So for blue I chose a very large skyscape. So there is a little landscape in the bottom and the sky dominates the entire area. So the sky is going to be very moody bluish sky. So I just covered the entire surface with blue and then added some gradient at the bottom part of the sky by adding some white, and then I added some clouds. So in the previous video I told you that the red part was my least favorite one, but once I completed this entire Rubik's Cube I think this blue painting is going to be my least favorite one in this series. So I added some 2 little houses at the bottom, so that's the landscape part. We have 2 little houses, some mountains in the background and some trees, little bushes and a very simple landscape, a very green landscape. I wanted the sky to be very dramatic, but I don't know why, but this one didn't came out as I have imagined. So I just didn't love how the clouds came out, so I just blended them at last, and that's it. That was the blue part. So this is how my mini Rubik's Cube painting challenge went. So at last I thought of adding a varnish so that the painting will be safe for a long time. So I'm using deco varnish from Little Birdie, so I'll drop that in the description. This is my favorite varnish for my acrylic paintings. So my favorite from this series is the sunset painting and the snowscape painting, of course. And if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe and click the bell icon, and please drop your suggestions in the comments. Also, please drop some challenge ideas for artists so that I can try that too. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you do, please do like the video. So that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you.